Have you ever felt overwhelmed by negative thoughts, trapped in a cycle of worry, anger, or frustration? Well, you're not alone. We all face moments where our minds seem like a battlefield. Many of us try to escape these feelings, hoping that peace can be found far away from the chaos of life. But what if I told you that the real secret to inner peace is not about running away, but facing life's challenges head-on? So, hello and welcome to Way to Enlightenment. Today, I want to share a powerful story that reveals a profound truth about overcoming negative thoughts. This is the story of a man who thought he had conquered his mind, only to discover that the true test of inner strength lies not in solitude, but in the heart of life's storms. Let's dive into this transformative journey and discover how we can conquer our negative thoughts and rise above them. Once upon a time, in a bustling town filled with the sounds of laughter, work, and endless activity, lived a man named Nirod. He had everything one could ask for: a prestigious job, a beautiful home, loyal friends, and the admiration of his community. Yet, despite all his successes, Nirod was deeply unhappy. He was constantly restless, his mind clouded with negative thoughts, doubts, and fears. No matter how much he achieved, he couldn't find the peace he desperately sought. One day, after yet another sleepless night filled with anxious thoughts, Nirod made a decision that would change his life forever. He decided to leave everything behind: the noise, the stress, the constant demands, and seek peace in solitude. He was convinced that the only way to rid himself of his negative thoughts was to retreat from the world that caused them. So, Nirod gave away his possessions, bid farewell to his friends, and set off on a journey into the unknown. With nothing but a simple robe, he ventured deep into the forest, where the city's noise could no longer reach him. After days of wandering, he found a hidden cave in the mountains. It was here that Nirod decided to make his home, far away from the troubles of the world. Nirod spent his days meditating, practicing breathing exercises, and living off the land. At first, the silence was deafening, but soon he grew accustomed to the stillness. He spent hours every day in deep meditation, trying to cleanse his mind of every negative thought. Seasons changed, years passed, and Nirod remained in his solitude. He believed he was mastering his mind, conquering his anger, his greed, and his fears. The years turned into decades, and soon 25 years had passed. Nirod was no longer the young man who had walked into the forest. His hair had turned gray, and his face was lined with age, but his eyes shone with a serene calm. He felt he had attained a level of peace that few could understand. In his mind, he had overcome every negative emotion. He was no longer troubled by anger, fear, or desire. He had lived without conflict, distraction, and temptation. One day, however, something stirred within him: a curiosity, a longing to see how the world had changed in his absence. He wondered if the city he had left behind was still the same, or if it had transformed into something new. And so, after a quarter of a century, Nirod decided to leave his cave and return to the town he once called home. He packed his few belongings, took a deep breath, and began his journey back to civilization. As he walked through the forest, he felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The city was nothing like the serene forest he had grown used to. The sounds of birds were replaced by the honking of cars, the rustling of leaves by the chatter of people. Tall buildings now towered over the streets. The air was filled with the buzz of modern life, and the pace was frantic. Nirod felt like a stranger in a world he no longer recognized. Nirod walked through the busy streets, observing the people rushing past him. He saw children laughing, vendors shouting, and workers hurrying to their jobs. It was a stark contrast to the stillness of his cave. He felt an overwhelming sense of being out of place, but continued walking, determined to see more. As Nirod was crossing a busy street, lost in thought, someone accidentally stepped on his foot. The pain shot through his body, and before he could even think, his old instincts kicked in. In a flash of anger, Nirod shouted at the man, "Are you blind? Watch where you're going." He pushed the man, who stumbled back, shocked and scared. The moment passed, and Nirod's heart sank. He stood there staring at his hands, horrified by his own reaction. This was not supposed to happen. He had spent 25 years mastering his mind, yet here he was, reacting in anger over a simple mistake. He had believed himself to be free of such emotions, yet they had resurfaced in an instant. The man he had pushed looked up at Nirod, confused and fearful. Seeing the fear in the man's eyes, Nirod's anger dissolved into shame. He fell to his knees, tears welling up in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he said, voice trembling. "Please forgive me. I thought I had conquered my anger, but today you have shown me that I was wrong. You are my true teacher." Nirod realized that his 25 years of solitude had not freed him from negative emotions, but had merely suppressed them. By avoiding conflict and temptation, he had never truly faced his inner demons. His patience, his calmness, and his perceived mastery were all untested. It was not the forest that had taught him peace, but the absence of challenges. He had built a bubble of serenity, untouched by the realities of human life. But real mastery of the mind, he now understood, comes from engaging with the world, not hiding from it. It's easy to be calm when nothing is challenging you, but true strength is found when you can remain calm in the face of adversity. Nirod made a vow that day. He would no longer run from life's challenges. Instead, he would embrace them, using each moment of conflict or discomfort as an opportunity to truly test his inner strength. He understood that it was in the noise, the chaos, and the imperfections of the world that real growth occurred. He started helping others with his wisdom, guiding those who felt lost, not as a perfect monk who had all the answers, but as a human being who was also learning, struggling, and growing every day. He became a source of inspiration, showing others that peace is not about running away, but about embracing life fully, with all its ups and downs. Nirod's journey teaches us that the real battleground for the mind is not in the isolation of a cave, but in the heart of everyday life. It's in the moments when we're cut off in traffic, when someone says something hurtful, or when we face failure and disappointment. These are the true tests of our inner peace. The story of Nirod reminds us that inner peace is not found in escaping the world, but in living fully within it. We all have the power to overcome our negative thoughts, not by avoiding challenges, but by facing them bravely. Every day, every difficult moment is an opportunity to grow, learn, and become stronger. Remember, the real victory is not in running from life's storms, but in learning to dance in the rain. If Nirod's journey resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Where are you avoiding challenges instead of facing them? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's support each other on this path to true inner peace. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Together, we can turn every challenge into a stepping stone toward a stronger, more peaceful mind. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.